listening to ComedySlamRadio.com. From our studios to the world, we bring you the finest in quality entertainment. So pop some popcorn, grab a smooch buddy, and settle in for another fine show from ComedySlamRadio.com.
Thank you for tuning in to the Let's Be Frank show on ComedySlamRadio.com, where we bring you national touring and celebrity comedian interviews. Follow us on Twitter at Let's Be Frank Show, and if you miss our live broadcast, you can find us on Stitcher Radio and iTunes at Let's Be Frank's Podcast, and please contact us with any questions or information about advertising and sponsoring at Let's Be Frank with Dave Frank at yahoo.com. Welcome to the Let's Be Frank show, and I am just as pissed off at that sorry-ass Let's Be Frank show intro as I was last week, and I'm coming here tomorrow, and we're going to redo it, and I'm going to get something cool because I sound like a lame-ass motherfucker. Welcome to the show again, Giggly.
How's it going, brother? You're so pissed off you can't even say my name right.
Yeah,
That's
your
awesome.
name's horrible. And we are lucky and fortunate to have Matt Ritter here on the show with us. How are you, Matt?
I am doing great. What's going on, fellas?
Not much. How much do you hate my intro? Do you think it sucks? I'm on this whole thing. I love it.
Are you talking about like the smooth elevator music, like the '80s like legal show
Yes.
intro, that stuff, or your voiceover?
Both. The whole horrible clusterfuck, in my opinion. I've loved it for many months.
Listen, I would say it's probably one of the worst intros I've heard in a long time.
Nice.
I told you I need to redo
podcasts, pretty much every day of my life.
I was going to say, you got 2 podcasts now, don't you? Are you still doing 2?
I went from being a complete Luddite. I was like, oh, fuck podcasts. Podcasts are fucking just so lame. The podcasts are beneath me. Now I'm like, hey, everybody just pretend I didn't talk all that shit about podcasts. I've got 2 of them.
That's awesome.
Now, what are your podcasts all about?
Well, I got one of them, which is a pure. I'm a sports fiend. I'm a Knicks. I'm obsessed with the Knicks. And I miss them because I live in Hollywood now because I'm an asshole, and that's where assholes live.
I know a couple assholes in Florida.
I miss the Knicks, and so I started getting the NBA League Pass so I could watch my Knicks from the West Coast, and I realized I missed it so much. I needed to talk Knicks. But nobody here wants to talk Knicks, so I started a podcast, and I have all these like ESPN New York guys and like beat reporters come on and talk to me. I have a fellow comedian, Jeff Cerulli, and we just talk shit about the Knicks.
Nice.
And then the other podcast is with my touring comedy troupe, Comedians at Law, which I'm sure we'll get into. Me and those guys, we basically just look at the legal issues of the day and make fun of what's going on in the world from a legal perspective. And we get some cool guests on. We had the real life Jerry Maguire on last week, the guy who played Tom Cruise's character was based on Lee Steinberg. Really funny guy, super sports agent. And we just get cool guests like that.
All right. From a legal standpoint, I need to know your opinion on this Elmo guy. Have you heard about the guy? Have you heard about the Elmo situation yet? You're Hollywood.
Yeah, he was tickling a 16-year-old boy, right?
Well, I guess he was tickling the 16-year-old boy when he was 9 or 10, and the 16-year-old boy he reported it later, I heard.
I don't know. I think at some point, there's got to be a statute of limitations. If you waited 7 years, come on. Why aren't you reporting that when Elmo's tickling you as a 9-year-old?
What was it real?
What is that 7-year process like? You just wake up one day and be like, oh man, I remember that time Elmo touched me.
That's the thing. They haven't said did he use the doll, or did he just touch him himself? The guy
I imagine that he used the doll. That's why, at least, I don't know if you guys have pictured this scenario. I imagine that he used the doll, and it was sort of like a, a ventriloquist pedophile act. He was like, it's not grown man touching you. It's Elmo tickling you down there.
This is fun.
Maybe there was a warning on the box that we all missed that said some Elmos may touch back or tickle back.
Yeah, a few Elmos may touch you. You know what's funny about that? I'll tell you a true story. One of my best friends, who's also a comedian, his dad was a big shot for Tyco back in the 90s. And I swear to God, so this kid was like 13, and none of us were getting any pussy because we were. Can I say pussy?
Say whatever you want, man.
Okay, so none of us were getting pussy. I didn't even know what the word pussy meant when I was 13. But since his dad was the CEO of Tyco, he had all these extra Elmo dolls right at the height when they were worth like $300 a piece.
Damn.
And I swear to God, this kid went from being the biggest chump loser to having like the hottest girls in school swarming him for those Elmo dolls.
Wow.
Nice.
Now I don't know,
I
man.
hated him for that.
Now I might be a little older than you. I'm 40. By the time I was 13, I had discovered pussy because of that movie, Private Lessons. That was a great movie.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not saying I didn't discover pussy. I'm just saying I had a hard time procuring it.
Oh yeah, I didn't get no pussy.
My sexual history is I started off scarred at a very early age because of the movies. My mom let me go to any sort of R movies. When I was 8, I saw Fatal Attraction.
Oh,
So, like I was already like, oh man, women are fucking nuts. You can't even cheat, and that's what happens when you cheat? Fuck, dude. I was like, I always thought I was going to cheat when I get older. What the fuck? I can't cheat?
Can't do
This
nothing.
is horrible.
Yeah. It's funny you
I was
say
like,
that.
oh man, you got to be. This is why you got to be monogamous. And actually, before that, when I was 4 years old, one of the first movies I ever snuck into was a movie called Life Force. Do you remember that one?
No, I don't know.
Oh, it was
The engineer's waving his fingers like he knows it. Do you know it, Frodo?
It was these.
Yeah, the naked vampire from space.
Yeah, naked vampires from space. They came in and they fucked you, and then they killed you. They stole your soul was in your semen. They sucked your soul out of your dick, and then they killed you. And the movie ends with this Scotland Yard detective. He falls in love with one of the sex zombies, and he has this javelin, and he stabs all the way through her spine, but he accidentally pulls it too far in, and he stabs himself, so they end up as a shish kebab.
awesome.
So, like, that was my first impression of true love.
Wow.
True love is a shish
Just
kebab.
fucking zombies and having them suck your semen dry. And then kill you.
Nice.
Sounds like my last Friday night, only without the death.
You had a pretty good Friday night then, my friend.
Hell yeah!
I'm in a serious relationship, so the only time I get sucked off is when I put on that fleshlight.
Oh man, it was funny. I had a friend of mine went to one of those girl parties where they can get toys and all that, and she started texting me pictures of the fleshlights. Like, do you want one, Dave? And I'm like, no, I don't want one of those. I'm like, what if
Why
I
do you want one?
Yeah, why the hell would I want one? I can get real mouth hugs. I like them.
Okay, hey, listen, if you got it like that, then fine. But I have a girlfriend who, I don't know, she does not do anything anymore. It's over. We're past our sexual peak.
Sorry about your damn luck, son. You got to do
Yeah,
something to spice it
sucks.
up, man. What are you gonna do, man? Why don't you guys get into role playing or something? Spice it up.
You know what? Yeah, no, listen, I have a good imagination. I could actually look at her and be picturing other people with my eyes open. It's a pretty good skill. I can look her straight in the eye and just be picturing some, poor 19-year-old girl somewhere else.
Nice.
Or like some MILF porn, like Lisa Ann, that is my favorite MILF porn.
At least you know your favorites. And since he was a lawyer, he said 19. He knew, 1 year past, they can't fucking say a thing. 18 safe,
Yeah,
19
believe
free
me.
to
Believe
go.
Believe me, the first thing I looked up as a lawyer, like the first thing I typed in my law school, like Lexis, they give you this LexisNexis password to look up case law. The first thing I did was look up statutory rape laws.
What states can he travel to?
What can I get
Yeah,
away with if
yeah,
I
I
bang
was like
chicks on
that.
the road?
Yeah, I was like, wait, so if she's 16 but she's in a state where the legal age is 14, but her age is in her state is 17, where should I fuck her? Should I drive her to Iowa and fuck her? What do I do?
Hey,
Oh,
man, as they
That's
say, not if you don't get caught, it wasn't illegal.
Yeah, no, obviously I'm kidding.
I know.
totally
No,
kidding
bullshit,
about all
man. We call you out. Hold on. No bullshit. You're going for 19-year-olds. I'm telling you, you did it. You knew it too quick. You even had passwords. It's bullshit.
Well, from what we can see,
yeah.
obviously he only goes for 19-year-olds when he's with his girlfriend and picturing 19-year-olds.
There you
Well,
go.
let me tell you something. I like older women too. I like MILFs, but you know what? I like hooking up with them, but you can't just hook up with a MILF. They always have to talk down to you.
Yeah.
It's always got to be like, oh man, I'm going to show you some shit you haven't seen before. And I'm just like, no, you're not. Come on, I've seen a rejuvenated vagina before. It's like, if you're going to say that, if you're going to be like, I'm going to show you some shit you've never seen before, you better mean it. I want to go back to your place and see a collection of rare dinosaur eggs.
That is awesome. So listen,
That's what I want to see.
I agree, man. I want to see like rare pterodactyl eggs and crazy shit.
Yeah, right? Or like, if she's like, I want to show you some shit you haven't seen. I want to see like, like a movie artifacts room. I want to be like, oh, is that Marty McFly's hoverboard from Back to the Future 2? This night really lived up to its billing.
You walk into a bed, and all of a sudden there's like one of those handlebars, the safety bar, that says, please keep your hands inside of the bed the whole time. Wait for the ride to stop before. Nice. Yeah,
I just, I don't want to be talked down to before I have sex. Afterwards, like, do it like every other girl. Talk down to me after we've had sex.
Yeah. Makes it easier to leave.
I don't know. Wiggy, when was the last time you even got to have sex?
Last weekend.
Did you? You had sex last weekend?
Yeah, man.
High five, bitch.
How much?
What was his name?
I don't remember what her name was.
How much?
This was in a
was she Canadian? Was it in Niagara Falls?
No, man. This was in a hotel stairwell.
So it was your cousin.
Oh.
Yeah, random.
Classy broad.
Like right after breakfast too.
Nice. What are you, like 30-something and you're banging bitches in stairwells?
Pretty much, yeah.
You are my hero.
I'm getting too old for that physically. I'm 33. I want to do that, but I'm just like, dude, I don't have health insurance. My back is acting up. I can't do this stairwell shit.
Not as hard as you'd think to do. Not as hard to pull off as you'd think.
That's because you're fat. You probably just lean back on the step and let her do all the work.
Well, yeah, that too. But that's beside the point.
All right. Me, man, I'm going on like 2 weeks, dude, since I got some. Isn't that bad?
I don't even remember the last time I had sex, but...
Yeah, but I'm 40, fat, and fucking single. So I get to do what I want. It's just...
Yeah, no, listen, I mean, you're a big podcast host, you know? You should be getting paid for that. Is there such thing as podcast pussy yet?
Yes. How do you think I get all my pussy? I go on Match.com. I tell them I'm a comedian, which is like a half a true because I'm not a very good one yet.
Not.
And then I just, I talk like my shit don't stink, or I type like my shit don't stink, and they believe it, and they invite me over.
You know what doesn't get you laid? Doing podcasts about sports.
Yeah, man.
Hey, baby, I do a Knicks podcast. Get away from me, you loser.
Yes, that is a very limited.
Yeah, I do a legal comedy podcast and a sports podcast. I guess you could say I didn't get into the podcast game for the pussy.
Yeah.
that was the only thing that I thought about was they were like, "Do you want to do a show?" And I'm like, "Can I get pussy?" And they were like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Can I say my name in the title a whole bunch of times?" Yeah. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. That's why we all got into comedy, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, man, comedy has... listen, I never got more ass than I have in the last 2+ years since I've been doing stand-up comedy.
Nice.
And, that doesn't mean I haven't had it before.
And that's still not a lot of ass at all.
No, but, for me, being
he's like, I went from 0 to 1. That is a 100% increase.
Absolutely.
That's great numbers right there, man.
Hey, man, Match.com is my friend.
Stats. This guy's the league leader.
I'm probably the only guy getting ass on a regular basis in this room.
Tampa, listen, if you can't get laid in Tampa, you can't get laid anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I moved here.
If you can't catch an STD in Tampa, you can't catch an STD anywhere.
Then I'm doing something wrong.
Like, you have no ability to catch an STD if you can't catch it in Tampa. You're immune.
That's right.
You should be studied in laboratories if you can't catch an STD. If you can't catch the clap in Tampa, then you got to just go to a science lab and be studied.
Yeah, you should be studied to cure fucking cancer or something.
They usually hand that out right at the airport here in Tampa. I mean, hey, welcome to Tampa.
I definitely love doing shows in cities where all the women are filthy.
Welcome to Tampa, ma'am. Here's your tramp stamp. And which STD would you like today? Take your pick. It's a grab bag.
Do they have like there is a local information booth that gives you that? Tourist information center.
They give you clap, gonorrhea, everything.
Yeah,
it's right at the airport.
They have the number one strip club per capita in the country.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
More than Vegas, probably.
Oh yeah, anywhere down Dale Mabry, like in this one section, you have like 3 or 4 of the big ones right there. Mons Venus, Odyssey, 2001. Mons Venus and Odyssey, 2001. Those are the 2 big ones.
Okay, Mons Venus. That's
and Raymond James.
I don't know what that is.
I guess they're just. You know what's funny? I grew up in New York, and I have friends that own bars and strip clubs. And once I got here, it wasn't a big deal. And it's just, I don't know. Up in New York, they're more whorish than they are down here. Like, they're too nice down here. They don't really give you good rubs and good lap dances. So it's almost like a waste of my time. And then the naked ones, they don't serve no alcohol. What do I want to go?
I'm more of a rub and tug guy. You know, I'm more of a rub and tug guy. I don't go for the strip clubs. Like, I just want to get jerked off on Sunday after football.
What else is there to do in America? You know, it's the perfect day.
Honestly, like sometimes I just tell them just skip the rub. I just flip over at the beginning.
So let's just veer away from the ridiculousness for just a second. You went, you grow up and you go to law school. Where the hell along the way does comedy and law school, how the hell did they mix? Was it something you're always interested in doing? Or you just want to keep talking about not getting laid?
I think truth be told, I always knew I wanted to do comedy. From an early age, I was, the class clown, I remember I hid in a closet one day for like 3 hours because I thought that was funny during school. And I remember thinking, like, what the fuck am I doing this for? It's like, oh yeah, I have to entertain everybody. And it was like 100 degrees in that closet. I'm like, well, this is retarded. But no, truth be told, I always knew I wanted to do comedy, but I think somewhere along the way, I just was like, I don't know how to do this as a career. There's nobody I know that does this. There's nobody in my even wide circle of friends or family that does this. So I think I just sort of let the tide take me to a normal path.
Now, did you go all the way through law school and everything, or how far did you go?
I went all the way, man. I went all the way. Yeah, no, I went to Penn Law, and I graduated, and I worked at 2 huge law firms in New York. I actually helped destroy the economy. I did subprime mortgage-backed securitization. You're welcome, America.
I took part in that. I was one of the LendingTree.com guys. I helped America get destroyed. But a lot of nice people have houses.
My law firm sent me down to South Carolina to sift through mortgage files, and I was like, what's a mortgage file? They're like, you're perfect for this job.
So you did law?
And then, I started doing stand-up basically at the same time that I started work in New York, so I was literally just changing out of my work clothes and getting up around town, like midnight, open mics and whatnot, and I did that for a few years. Until finally I was just like, oh my God, I am such a bad lawyer. And I'm a mediocre comedian. I'm going to try that full time.
There you go. So how long after you went full time, or how much material did you have? Did you have a full hour's worth of material when you decided to strike out full time?
I would say, look, when you say full hour, like I had what I thought was a full hour. I had what comedy club bookers would say was a good 15 minutes.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I had a full 3. I write a lot. I'll write, like, I probably have jokes that I still haven't performed. I write every day, like, a shit ton of material. But, it's like, in some ways I was always a little lazy with tightening, and it's like, wow, I've got so many good premises.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think, so I quit to go full-time like 3 years ago. And then I was in New York, and I'm like, what am I doing here? I want to do the whole entertainment thing. So I moved out to L.A., and, just things have been going pretty well on the comedy front ever since.
Right. Now, you had a web series, and you've had some TV appearances with your comedy. So, what's the web series about? Let everybody know.
So basically, when I got out to L.A., I was like, oh, man, I'm going to be a star, like, immediately. They're just going to sign me and have a TV deal and everything, and I had like enough money to last for a year maybe, and that money ran out quick. So I was like, fuck, I guess I'm gonna have to work. And I was like, I don't want to be a waiter. I can't do that. I just can't do it. Just my ego can't take it. So I took a job at a law firm, but like I used to be like a hotshot associate, and then I had to go back and take a job as like the lowest of the low. It's called document review, like this contract work where you're like a trained monkey. So it was sort of about this idea of like being at a law firm but working in the complete bottom, like in the basement.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's called The Bottom Rung. It's about these guys who basically, they went to law school and they're basically glorified toll booth operators.
Wow.
That's how boring this job is. So it's just about them trying to escape and all the kind of shenanigans that go on there.
How did you get that put together to put on the web?
So I ended up selling it to this website called Bitter Lawyer, which was founded by a guy who was a former lawyer and is now a TV producer. So that they gave me a little bit of money to make a full season of that. And then I had a lot of good comedians on. I had Eddie Pepitone in it.
I saw that.
And a few
That's
other
awesome.
big name comics.
Very cool.
So that was really fun, and that led to a lot of other opportunities. So it was a really cool thing to do, and I'm still trying to shop it as a TV show because I really believe in it.
So how did you hook up with these other lawyer comedians to form the Comedians at Law? Did it spin off of the show?
The number of comedians who used to be lawyers is not very high to begin with. And so, in the course of doing comedy over the past 8 years, I ran into a couple of other guys that were doing the same thing. And around a year ago, we were just like, we all sort of have this same niche. And, you see all these stupid niche comedy groups. And you're like, wait a minute, I could be a stupid niche comedy group.
Right.
And so we all just were like, let's combine forces and see if we can, make something out of this thing. And it really just took off because there was really nobody marketing themselves specifically to lawyers because there's no other people that could do that.
So did you guys start pulling off some lawyer corporate gigs and all that associated with it?
Yeah, so I mean, it took off. Yeah, so the other guys in the group, by the way, really funny guys. I should give them a shout out. J.L. Kovan, Alex Barnett, and Kevin Israel. Really funny dudes, all successful. They've all been headlining in their own right, and we sort of just combined forces and through sheer will and we just pounded the pavement. We booked a ton of law firm gigs, law school gigs, bar associations, and we just, we've been touring the country pretty much nonstop for the past year.
That's awesome. And everybody could check you guys out. It's comediansatlaw.com. So they could see all the different bios, videos.
We do we blog, we talk shit on the podcast, we sell T-shirts. Our tagline is bad at law, good at comedy.
Nice.
And it's fun. It's fun. It's not just for lawyers though. We advertise it as as for lawyers, but these club shows are probably 50-50 lawyers and non-lawyers, and everybody has a good time. We sprinkle in a little legal humor for the lawyers, and then we just do our regular sets.
Right. So you got a lawyer following, but you got a lot of everybody else. It's like going to watch Gabriel Iglesias. There's mostly fat people in the audience,
exactly.
But every once in a while you see a skinny guy.
The thing is about these, and that's the thing, when you're a comic and you're starting out and you're like, you see these sort of niche comedy groups, your instinct is to hate them. I don't know if that's just because you're hating them because they're, successful and you can't figure out a way to, perform at sellout venues, but it's funny how quickly I did a 180 when I saw how much success we were having.
Exactly.
Nice.
I'm sure.
I'm like, whoa, niche comedy is the shit.
I'm telling you, Gwiggy, we need to come up with a niche comedy group.
We're not smart.
The Tampa rub and tug aficionados.
The open mic morons. Come on down.
Yeah.
Now with herpes.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Now with herpes.
If you want to see two guys who have sex in stairwells of hotels.
I normally get invited back to their houses. I'm way too fat to be fucking in a stairwell. It just ain't happening.
Yeah.
If you're a heavy guy, stairwell doesn't seem like the right place for you. The heavy breathing and everything. I can imagine you being a heavy breather during sex.
I'm a heavy breather just in general. It happens. It's just part of the fatness.
I mean, your heavy sex breathing is probably pretty too much for any staircase.
It is. But worse than the breathing is the fucking fat guy cramps you get down like your leg and your ankle. Oh, it's
listen,
horrible.
It's not a fat guy thing. Listen, I've pulled hamstrings getting blowjobs. Believe me. You get to a certain age, and it's just like, can we just do this lying down in the bed gently?
And that's when you hold the hamstring, right? When you were lying down gently too.
Just lying, and that's exactly. I pulled a hammy just lying back. Well, you know what it was? I think I pulled a hamstring getting a blowjob from my girlfriend and struggling to picture somebody else that I really liked.
Dude, it's funny because I thought I was going to pull an ab muscle. Not this. 2 weeks ago, last Sunday, I was at someone's house and was getting a BJ or a blowjob, a mouth hug, however the hell you want to fucking refer to them. And I'm like, I'm too fat. I can't see her. One of the joys of fucking getting a blowjob is watching her. So I'm like, well, let me sit up and lean towards the backboard, or the bed. So I'm leaning the back, and I see her, and I'm like, all right, this is great. And then all of a sudden, I get like 30 cramps in my stomach, and I'm like, I can't admit to this. This is horrible. So I had to go through the rest of the blowjob with cramps.
Nice.
I'd like to see somebody come out with a drug that solves that problem.
Me
you have the
too.
problem of getting cramps while you're getting blown.
Yes, it was horrible. But but I have stick-to-itiveness, and I stayed the course, and I let her finish, and
that was nice of you.
That's the hard part, right? I mean, I think that is impressive willpower to be able to orgasm despite the terrible cramps.
It's horrible.
I'm very gassy, so my girlfriend hates it when I just blow horrible like shards in her face as she's blowing me. Some people get pearl necklaces. She gets a shard necklace.
Man, that's horrible. That's gross. I get chills even thinking about something like that.
Those are popular on eBay right now, though, with the holidays coming up. So.
Shard, yeah. Get your girlfriend a shard necklace. Every kiss belongs to Kay.
Oh, man. Oh, this is horrible. This is horrible.
We really took a turn here, fellas.
I know, right?
Yes.
We had this nice little conversation about law and corporate law gigs, and now
I think
was
it my fault?
Probably.
I probably always my fault.
Yeah.
It's my show, so it has to be my fault. All good things are my fault, and I'll take the blame for blowjobs.
Yeah.
One of the best things in the world. Yeah, man. Hey, shit happens. So.
Hey, listen. Sometimes you got to talk about blowjobs.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. It's been like 2 weeks since I had one, so it feels good to reminisce about the memories.
Good time.
Yeah.
Memories of the blowjobs on my mind. All right. Back to the reality of what is the fantastic Let's Be Frank show. Let's talk about how you have your new TV series starting off on MSNBC. Is it December 23rd?
Yeah. So this is a really cool turn of events this past year. So it started from something pretty horrible. My parents got divorced about 3 years ago, and they couldn't sell their house. We're from Long Island. They couldn't sell their house, so they ended up getting stuck living together after divorce for 3 years. So it was a fucking nightmare. My dad's a hot-headed Israeli guy with a gambling problem. He's, I love my dad, but he was making it not so easy to live with him. It wasn't easy to live with him when they were married. So I started going online and researching. I'm like, are my parents the only idiots doing this, or is this like a big thing, And it turns out it was a huge phenomenon nationwide for a variety of reasons. The economy, because of kids, just because of people are codependent and fucked up. And so I have a manager for comedy, and I said to her, I have this idea for an unscripted show about divorced couples. Do you know anybody in that space? Turns out she knew the guy who created Intervention. His name is Sam Metler, really good guy. And we met, and we hit it off. And we ended up developing this idea, this show, and we ended up selling it to MSNBC.
Wow. That's great. So how many episodes?
So we shot 3 episodes so far. Really wacky couples. I mean, these couples. I mean, we have a show, a couple that are they've been divorced for 2 years. They have a 2-year-old kid. They basically got married because they had a kid, and they were stuck living together because they don't have any money. And then he, for some stupid reason, he tried to win her back for like 2 weeks, 6 months ago, and boom, he gets her pregnant again.
Ouch.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah, I actually went to their ultrasound.
Oh no!
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, this show has ruined me emotionally more than anything else in my life. This trauma. I mean, literally, I always imagined the first ultrasound in my life being a joyous moment. Instead, I was staring at some strange woman's vagina, awkwardly in the room. The doctor was like chastising them for having cameramen in the room. They're like, "Are you sure you really want to do this?" And we were like, "Just sign the fucking form, doc. Don't give me the list."
This is going to be on TV, bitch. People are going to know you.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, literally, you see the ultrasound, and you see how depressed they are. Like, they're so not happy, too. Like, usually, I assume when people see their ultrasound, it's like, oh, my God, honey, we're having a baby. The doctor goes, so, yeah, it's this is your ultrasound. And the woman goes, oh, shit, I guess this is real. Huh? I've really been in denial the whole time. The doctor's like, nope, there's a baby in there, and you see their faces, and it's just pure depression. I can't imagine when that kid grows up, when he asks his parents the story of like, So, what was it like when you found out you're having a kid? They're going to be like, oh, yeah, it was a really happy moment, because they're not going to be like, yeah, we fucking hated each other, and we looked at that ultrasound, and we knew we were fucked.
Actually, they're going to say, hold on, let me play you the video.
Yeah.
You can see how disgusting we really were.
With Matt in the background. Who's the producer guy staring into mommy's cooch?
Oh,
who's the producer guy with his hand on the stirrups?
Matt, we know, I know Gwiggy was lying. He really didn't get laid last week, so he's going to have to see this just to get a look at some pussy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, some sickos are actually going to watch this to get off. Listen, it's got all the elements. It's funny. It's dramatic. It's an extremely relatable thing. There hasn't been a lot of shows about divorce on the air. I tried to pitch it 2 years ago, and everybody was like, we don't want to do a show about divorce. Too depressing. I'm like, dude, life is depressing.
Yes. And with the way reality TV shows are now, you would think that would have been taken off immediately.
Yeah. Look, I don't know what kind of shows you guys like, but I like real shit, and this is very real. It's just crazy. You're getting an insight into real relationships. I hate that Kardashian bullshit.
Yeah.
Some of the reality shows I actually like to watch are, and sure, I'm a fat guy, so they're revolved around restaurants, but I like that, like the Restaurant Impossible, where they go in and clean places up. And
I like that guy yelling at everybody. It's ridiculous, but it's a pretty good one. I like the Pawn Stars. I like the I like this one where these guys are searching for gold at the bottom of the ocean in the Bering Sea.
Yes, that was crazy. I saw a little bit of that. It's crazy.
Yeah. But they actually, by the way, reality is not a word we use. We call it docu-series. They're very, it's very important to stress that it's not reality, because reality somehow now, it's funny that the word reality has gone from meaning reality to staged. Now when you think reality, you think staged. This is a very non-staged show. It's MSNBC. They're a news network. So they were very, it was very important that we just basically just let people do their thing.
So your producers don't have any outcome, any effect? They don't say, hey, why don't you go do this or anything like that? You just
No, that's not what this show is, man. This show is watching fucked up people make bad decisions.
Nice.
It's like a real life version of Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah.
Now, how do you find some of the people?
Oh man, that girl's a catch. I have jerked off to her so many times.
That is hysterical, man.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question? I want to do a little trivia. You guys sound like you're big porn watchers.
Oh, thank you.
Oh man.
Let me ask you a question. True question. What would you think there would be more if you go on one of those porn aggregator sites? What would you think there would be more porn videos of? Amputee porn or 9-month pregnant porn?
Probably 9-month pregnant porn.
I'm just gonna go with. Oh man, both are so harsh. I'm gonna go. The pregnant one seems like it's more realistic because everybody. Fuck it, I'm going amputee. Just going amputee. Let's go.
And the winner is amputee. And you want to know?
Go ahead.
We debated this. I debated this with some friends, and I think the reason is. I think the reason is when you're an amputee, like you've pretty much given up, hope on, procuring regular employment anyway.
True.
Wow.
So why not? Also, but the thing is, for somebody 9 months pregnant to get into porn, do you realize how fucking firm in your conviction to be a lowlife you have to be?
But
I don't know. I've seen strippers that are pregnant and still got it.
But the problem is you kept giving them tips.
It's a very specific genre. It's not just pregnant porn. 9 months pregnant.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
yes, I want my unborn son to know what it feels like to get jabbed in the face with a penis.
Nice.
It would only be great. Now, could there be like water breaking porn then? If you're at 9 months, you could slip in the pecker and cause an eruption.
The second that I get off this podcast, I'm going to be looking that
up. Hold on, we got computers. We should look it up
Don't lie,
right
you're
now.
looking it up now.
Yeah, can one of you guys look up water breaking porn? Oh, that is so hot. Oh,
you got to do it on yours. Look it up. Look it up.
You guys gave me something to picture while I'm having sex with my girlfriend later. with my eyes open.
And it'll be 19-year-old water breaking porn.
19-year-old water breaking porn.
Hey, man, 19's old for pregnant girls now, man. I remember there was a girl in my high school.
You're right. 19 is over the hill for pregnant chicks.
Dude, I'm 40, so 22 years ago when I was in 20, 21 years ago when I graduated, there had already been 1 or 2 girls that were in high school that had kids. Nowadays, you get shit if they make it.
Yeah, I remember. I know. Well, that was a funny thing, right? Because when I was in high school, there was one pregnant chick every year, and like she just got the nickname Mom. That was her nickname, Mom.
Right. Now there's like 12 of them.
How can you do that now when there's everybody? You know, when there's like 9 girls, 9 moms.
How are you doing on your mission, Gwiggy?
Let's see. One that pops up: water break pregnant videos, free porn videos. Right after that,
click the button.
Right, well, will you send me that link?
I'll see what we can do. Definitely. Yeah.
We're gonna play it live right now. Plug that shit in.
Not playing this live.
Yeah. We're going all the way downhill, baby. My aunt is gonna be listening to this show.
Can I ask you a question? Have I taken this off the rails, or is this in the normal range of acceptable podcast convo?
I've had some really fucked up podcasts, and I've had some really legitimate educational podcasts.
Do you guys want to be more educated? Should we be more educational?
Can you be educational?
Maybe a little more in some cases.
Anybody who wanted to be educational has already shut it off long and time ago.
Yes,
definitely.
Point.
Yes. But hey, fuck them. Fuck them if they can't take a joke. And
I can't believe you made me look at this. This is awful.
Yeah, he still had it up. He's flicking through more pictures though.
He has his hand on his dick when he's like, "I can't believe you're making me jerk off to this. I can't believe
the camera's not all the way down so they can see that."
Oh, dude, that is fucking gross.
Yeah, there's some.
Don't put it in front of me.
Yeah, you wanted to see this, bitches.
But that's why I had you look it up on your Zoom. I didn't want any trace of it on my Zoom.
Yeah, I know. I actually I have to light my computer on fire soon.
Couple of viruses do we have, sir?
I think I have to light the building on fire.
It's one of those things, right? Like, here's the thing that I always worry about. Like, what if I died tomorrow, you know? Absolutely. Like, what if I died tomorrow and I don't have any journal? I don't have a journal. I don't have a fucking journal. I have my computer's history.
Nice.
That's the journal of my life, amputee porn. They're going to be like, oh, he was really depressed.
Here he had this beautiful girlfriend.
I want the record to reflect I was not depressed when watching that.
He's got this beautiful girlfriend, and yet he looks at amputee porn to get excited.
But I think that's the thing, right? You know, when I've dated like unattractive women, I always sort of like fantasized about attractive women. Now I'm actually dating an attractive woman, and I fantasize about pigs.
Hey, man, fat girls are very fun to have sex with.
Listen, I know that. Any guy who's like, oh, I only fuck hot chicks, I'm like, well, then you don't get laid a lot. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
There's like 3 hot chicks out there. There's like 3 hot chicks in the world. What are you talking about?
And they're all in Hollywood after Matt. I got no shot.
Yeah, no. Listen, every girl's a 6, and every girl is a 6 and fat and awesome.
You know what's funny? I didn't realize it. That's how stupid I am sometimes. My neighbor downstairs, I think she was hitting on me like 3 nights ago. Yeah. I was walking. She wasn't. Yeah. No, you know, she goes to me. I'm walking out of the house, and she's in the car, and she goes, "Dave, do my tires look low?" And at first, I was like, I wanted to say, "Well, get out of the car." Let me say, because she's a little big. Nice. But I'm like, yeah, the front one looks a little low, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know how to put air in them." I'm like, "You're 29. Just go over there and stick the hose in. You know, it's no big deal." Oh, okay. Then she starts talking about my porch because I have like the little tiki porch with the lights and the palm trees. And she starts asking me about it. And I'm not taking it as a hint that she wants to come upstairs. And I'm like, yeah, you've never seen it with the lights on? She goes, no. I'm like, all right, tomorrow night I'll turn the lights on, walk around the building and take a look. Oh, man. And I tell it to my friends and they're like, yeah, Dave, you were supposed to get laid right there. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
Don't you hate when your friends tell you afterwards, like, oh, yeah, dude, that was you were supposed to fucking totally get laid. You know what the worst is? When your friends tell you when they were actually there in the moment, and they could have actually told you then when your friend's with you, and the next day he's like, dude, how come you didn't bang that chick? It's like, what are you talking about, dude? He's like, oh, you didn't know she wanted to fuck you? It's like, dude, don't tell me about the ghost of Pussy Past.
Yes.
That's like being like, oh, dude, how come you didn't take a brick of gold from that party last night? There were bricks of gold in the fridge. You didn't know that? You're supposed to take a brick of gold when you left the party.
That's awesome. This show is so fucked up tonight. I think I might have lost my number 1 fan, my aunt. She might never listen again.
She listens in?
She's probably getting more pussy than you.
Oh, dude, that is so raw. for you to even say. My aunt just turned 70, and you're talking about her getting laid. That's messed up.
Is she? Does she? I mean, look, I heard the incidence of STDs is on the rise in senior citizens.
Hey, look, she's getting it on, brother.
Listen, be old, loud, and proud. If she wants to go out and get something, just don't tell me. I'm
thinking about getting engaged to my girlfriend. People are always like, "Well, how do you know when you should get engaged to her?" I'm like, you know what? When I read the newspaper and I find out there's now drug-resistant STDs, it's time to get out of the game.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I could fight a lot of things, but I can't fight super gonorrhea.
Yes, that's harsh. See, but I listen, and
you gotta go ring shopping when you read those kind of articles.
Very true, man. For right now, I'm still sticking with Captain Trojan Man. Trojan Man still makes me feel safe.
Enjoy that, man.
So is that how the vows are going to go?
I have a girlfriend, so I don't have to use condoms.
Is that how the vows are going to go when you guys get married? Do you? I just don't want to get an STD. Okay, you're now married?
Yeah, well, no, Shirley knows. I always say that to her all the time. I go, baby, you know that I love you. You know that it's partly because I love you, but it's mostly because of that other stuff.
That is awesome.
I always tell her, look, baby, I love you 100%, but it's only 30% of why I'm with you.
And now you wonder why you don't get laid that often.
Look, I'm honest. I'm romantic but honest.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure she appreciates that, like a nail through the heart.
Yeah, I know. Look, I mean, she tolerates me, so that's enough for me.
There you go.
That really gets you into bed every once in a great while, right?
Listen, I don't like myself 2 or 3 days in a row. I don't know how some other girl could even handle me for a week.
It's tough. I mean, I can't handle you for a half hour. I'm already disgusted by you.
Hey, man, you're 42 minutes in. You're doing better than you thought. You only got 18 minutes left to go.
Oh, that is, yeah.
Hey, listen, you're having more fun.
The other thing, you guys are out. You guys are single guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm married to my five knuckle shuffle.
I mean, it's tough, right? I mean, you need to have money too to date. That's the other thing. Like, I'm happy that I'm in a relationship. I don't have to try and throw my money around. But also, dating when you're poor is tough too.
Very true.
We have our 2-year anniversary coming up, and I got no money to take her anywhere nice. There's only so many times you can Google free date spots.
You know what's funny? I think
I type in F, and Google's like, "Did you mean free date spots?" I'm like, "You know me so well, Google."
You know what's funny? I think the most expensive part for me for dating is the subscription to Match.com.
Oh, is that expensive? My mom's on Match.com. You should look her up.
I'll do that. Is she listed under MILF, Jewish, and crazy?
She's listed under psychotic poetry reading weirdo who is frigid.
Dave will find her.
Absolutely, I'll be. Yeah, no,
she actually asked me to help her. She actually asked me to help her fill out her profile, which was a very awkward moment, because I really never wanted to ever answer the question, "What is my mom's body type?" I was like, man. You know what, Mom? I'm going to go with droopy.
Droopy, unwanted.
She was like,
sorry.
She's like very funny, Matt. I'm putting down athletic. I'm like, athletic? You can't put that down. She's like, why not? I'm like, because you have osteoporosis. I'm like, you got brittle bones. Sex would break you in half. Athletic means you can do weird shit in bed.
Absolutely. Who is it? Johnny Oz had he's a comedian here. He's been around for like 30 years. And he had it broken down. He had the whole thing like Latino is code word for like 10 children.
Oh, I know what
the menu for picking up the dating sites. He had a whole thing. It's You know
what I always find funny on those dating sites, the option of prefer not to say. Like, that is the dumbest thing on earth. I had a roommate who went on a date with a girl on Match.com, and he got back and he's like, dude, she fucking sucks. She has a kid. I hate her. He's like, I don't want to fucking deal with somebody's kid, because nobody wants to deal with a chick's kid. Yeah. I mean, anybody who says otherwise is lying. So I said to him, I go, well, what? Didn't you just check her profile? Like, doesn't it say whether she has kids or not? He goes, well, I didn't know because it said prefer not to say. I'm like, you moron. What kind of girl who doesn't have a kid prefers not to say?
Right. And I'm horrible because I profile.
I prefer not to say that I don't have a kid, just in case there's a guy out there who likes mystery.
Listen, the great thing about Match.com or JDate or wherever you're going, because I've hit them all, but you can profile. I'm 40 years old. I specifically look for women that are between 32 and like 42, 43 that have never been married and never had kids, because it don't matter how fat I get, I'm looking like prime rib because I got a good job. I'm somewhat funny, and I'm available. And those three things in this economy are great. You know,
you basically just did a promo for Match.com.
There you go. Match.com, if you'd like to sponsor the Let's Be Frank show.
My buddy signed me up because I was horny and I wanted to get laid, and I had a bag of cocaine on me, and it worked out.
Nice. Hey, man, go with a smile.
Nice.
Yeah.
You actually go for like fucking hours and hours.
Cocaine, and if you have one bag of cocaine and you type in divorcee, you're pretty good.
Nice.
That is great. So, did you say you went on JDate?
For one night, my buddies signed me up for one. I had one magical night. So my buddies and I in Brooklyn, every year we do a dinner at Peter Luger's. All my buddies from high school, we've been doing it for 10 years. And a couple of years ago, we used to go out afterwards, and now everybody's getting fat and old. So a couple of years ago, I wanted to go out. Nobody wanted to go out with me, and my buddy was staying at my place. So he's like, dude, just take my credit card, sign up for JDate, and get laid tonight. I'm like, are you crazy? So after like 4 hours of searching for just the right 38-year-old divorcee, I went over her place, did a bunch of blow, had sex with her, and then deactivated the next morning.
Awesome. See, that's basically how all mine go, except I don't have the cocaine, and I just stop by. You know, it's funny. The most recent, when I joined Match.com like a year and a half ago, I joined up on a Friday. On Saturday, the girl said, "Stop and pick up a pizza on your way over." I was like, I'm in fucking love. This is great. Match.com is my best friend. It was great.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, man. I probably
you should marry that girl.
No. I'm in love with Match.com, not the girl.
Okay.
I have feelings for Match.com and its ability to help fat guys get laid.
I'm starting to feel like this podcast is sponsored by Match.com.
Hey, my sex life is sponsored by Match.com, and I appreciate them for that. And hopefully some of the girls do too.
What do you plunk down a month for that?
I buy 3 months for like $40 at a pop, and I normally
do $120
a year.
I guess that's a pretty good investment, because you're going to throw $120 away at a rub and tug just one time.
True.
Absolutely. Or listen, to take a nice girl out to dinner, twice before you get in the action, you could spend that whole amount of money. And
yeah, I hate taking my girlfriend out to dinner. The worst part is when I run into other dudes from Groupon.
Hey man,
all my buddies are telling me like, I'm like, what do I buy her for a 2-year anniversary? I had a friend who goes, you know what, dude, don't even worry about it. If she really loves you can just make her something. I'm like, make her something? That is great advice for a 13-year-old boy. You know what combo you never hear girls having? You never hear a girl be like, oh man, is that a macaroni necklace you're wearing? That is amazing. That is really amazing. Did he make that for you?
Absolutely, baby. He even spray painted it gold and glitter.
But it's not Easy Mac, is it? No, he boiled it. He did
This is awesome. So, aren't you glad you called into the show?
Listen. I'm having a wonderful time. This is getting me away from exercise, which I hate.
That's good.
And what day is today? This is Monday. I don't even know what my Monday night television programming consists of.
You know what's funny? I had to, and this is, some people will laugh, but I am a huge wrestling fan, and I dedicated just over a year ago when I decided to do this show. I gave up Monday Night Raw in order to be able to do my show. I said, I have to give up something in order to dedicate myself. What are you looking at, Frodo? You're Frodo, and you have a nerd show, and you're looking at me like I'm a fucking moron because I like wrestling? What are you doing? Go ahead, speak your mind, you hairy bastard. What are you doing?
He's making fun of you for liking wrestling. Listen, it's okay to like wrestling. I mean, look, you're going to decrease the amount of girls who will be interested in you by like 98%, but it's fine.
Yeah. Go ahead. You got something to say, Frodo?
It's a personal choice.
I can't. I don't like men in tight pants.
What about the girls in hot, tight pants?
Oh, man, you are not secure about your sexuality at all, huh?
Yeah. Dude, what about all the hot girls? What about the crazy fucking stories?
Yeah, I used to love Elizabeth,
With
right?
with
Is
all
she
the
still
fake
around?
tits?
Right? Macho Man's girl, Elizabeth,
She died a long time ago, unfortunately.
of AIDS?
Cocaine overdose, I believe.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, a
Occupational
lot of people
hazard,
are dead from that whole era, huh?
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
Macho Man died a few
nobody,
years back.
Nobody gave a shit about wrestlers.
Not
Yeah.
back in the day. Nope. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there was really nobody looking out for those dudes.
Yeah,
If
but
only
it's
they
a
had
lot
a
different
union.
now.
Most of those guys are like really whacked out, man, too.
Hey, listen, I love them. Some
Well, I
of
mean,
them stop by
they
the show
pumped, I mean, they
sometimes.
pumped so much fucking steroids and cocaine into their veins for 20 years.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, those days I think for the most part are gone, and we've been lucky. Are you a fan at all of wrestling, Matt?
Yeah, but actually, I got to be honest, I kind of miss that because I like big, abnormal sized dudes. I don't like seeing a 5'10", 212-pound guy who used to be on MTV's The Real World being a wrestling champ.
Yes. Like the days like when you,
You know
had
what I mean?
Batista
I want
and
to see a
Hogan.
dude that I
and-
could potentially beat up if I got in a bar fight at being the WWE champion.
So the Miz ain't going to do it for you.
And I figure if I get in a couple good punches, I could win. You know what I mean? When I
Absolutely.
look at Andre the Giant, I think my fist will just get lost in his chest somewhere.
Yeah.
That is
You know what I
awesome.
mean? Like I don't want to
Oh,
see a dude. I don't want to see a dude that I'm like, oh yeah, I could fucking punch that dude one time, like a really good lick on him with like my best punch, and I could knock that dude out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I want a guy like Hulk Hogan, where like if I punched him in the face, I would break every bone in my hand.
Yeah. You want the guy that you punch him so hard, with everything you got, and he goes, "What are you gonna do now?"
Yeah, like you want that moment, that '80s movie moment where you punch the bad guy, or he catches your hand. You know what I mean? Well,
I had
like
that
The
moment
Miz,
once.
I feel like I could elbow that dude at a bar in the face and knock him out.
I had that moment once with, my parents were divorced. My mother's no longer with us, but there was a time that
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you very much. One of her boyfriends stopped by the house, and he walked in the house without, knocking on the door, and it was early in the morning. And I walk out. It's I'm a kid. I'm like 17 years old. I just got my underwear and my T-shirt on, walking into the kitchen, and there's this guy. And I just got fumed. And he's like, "You can't say nothing to me. I'm your mom's boyfriend and whatever, but blah, blah, blah." So at this point, I just start yelling and screaming. And she comes out and she gets mad. And I'm like, "Go ahead. Take your best shot, Mike. Wherever you want, you get one free shot." And he's going, now this guy, I'm 17. This guy's in his late 30s, 40s, something like that. He actually says, "All right, I'm going to give you a shot in the stomach." I'm like, "Go for it." He punches me in the stomach, and I look at him and I said, "What are you going to do now?" My mother's freaking out.
Wow.
I swear to God, really happened. He looks at me. He turns around. He used to bring over this weird, like, Irish cream coffee stuff, like this, when the foo-foo coffee milks just started coming out. He looks at me. I tell him, "What are you going to do now?" He picks up his creamer, and he never came back. Never called my mother again. It was over.
Man.
Yeah, that happened. I was
but then
so.
your mom stopped getting laid.
She told me that she was never Haley his boyfriend, and he was overstepping his bounds. So hey, whatever it is, I'm not going to delve into it. The best part about it was for me that I was able to say, "What are you going to do now?" And he did nothing and walked out of the house. That was proud. There was another time that I went after another. I almost tried to
I don't
run.
know if that's true or if that's from an '80s movie that I'm not remembering right
No,
now.
I swear to God on my mother's gravestone, that is a true story. I would never
Well, good for
BS
you.
about
Good for
anything
you.
like
Highlight
that.
of your life.
Yes, it was awesome. I was 17, and that guy was scared shitless. Now, if someone punched me in the stomach, I'd be puking up my lunch or something I ate because there's plenty of stuff in there. Now it's just a big, saggy.
I feel like
fucking
punching
belly.
people in the stomach isn't as big as it used to be.
No.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
I guess you would know by law, by being the lawyer, but I don't. Not too many people. I get into a fight. I'm a nice guy. They think I'm nicer than I really
Well, that's
am.
the other
so.
thing, right? If you get in a fight with one of these professional wrestlers, right? If they hit you, it's an assault with a deadly weapon.
Absolutely. Now, who's your
So-
favorite female wrestler? If you had to get into a tangle, who do you want to get in the tangle with?
China?
No! Oh my God!
Man, everybody rather be in China.
Oh, that is gross. Did you see that pimply ass China? I saw part of that porn. It was disgusting. You kidding me? You have so many other beautiful ladies. Tori Wilson.
I don't know.
Stacy
Who would you
Keibler.
rather?
Stacy Keibler, she's going out with what's his face?
She's been soiled. She's been soiled by Clooney.
By the Clooney?
She's got that Clooney semen on her. That smug semen.
In my fucked up reality, Clooney has never touched her.
She's got all that smug energy just oozing through her. It's just disgusting.
In my reality, she is still a virgin and waiting for Fat Davy. That is my fantasy.
Listen, yeah, but in the real world that we live in, she's got that stupid Clooney smug grin on her face.
So is it really China? That's who you would go for?
No, I don't know. I'd have to give it a little more thought. I'm not really into female. I don't like cut women. I like women with that soft mushiness a little.
That's why I said Stacy Keibler, man. She was never that muscular, but she had them legs. Oh my God. Because I'm so fat, they can only wrap around my head once.
Too muscular for me. I don't know. Female wrestlers are not my thing.
All right. Well, hey, guess what? We're up to shameless plugs, so we got another 2 or 3 minutes in the show. So let everybody know where you're going to be and what's coming up. Again, we want to make sure that everybody.
So, Comedians at Law, we've got a bunch of private events coming up for the holidays. So if you're any law firms listening to this, we do awesome private events like, retreats, holiday parties, etc. In January, we're starting up another big tour again. Our first couple stops, we're going to be in Zanies on January 23rd. So we're going to be in Tennessee from the 23rd to the 25th. We're doing a law school show down there. And then I don't have the exact dates, but shit, I should have had the calendar in front of me.
But they can go. I got it up here. This is all for Comedians at Law.
That's for Comedians at Law.
Yeah. So you guys go right to comediansatlaw.com. Buy some of the propaganda they got. Check out the calendar, the merchandise.
T-shirts. I mean, come on, go buy a T-shirt. Who doesn't need an extra T-shirt to work out with?
Do you got 4 XL shirts for the fat guy? You got fat guy T-shirts?
We have XXL. We have what do you XXXL or XXL?
I could go depending on the cut. I can go 3Xs, sometimes 4 just for safety.
It's a pretty big shirt. So XXL will probably be good for you.
And it says Comedians at Law, Bad at Law, Good at Comedy right on the shirt, and it's got a cool little symbol on the front. Cover up one of my fat titties.
It's objectively a cool T-shirt to have, regardless.
And it's $20.
And it's soft.
It's only $20, people. And they'll ship it to you for free.
$20.
They'll ship it to you for free. That's fucking awesome. Where do you get free shipping?
It for free. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Most people charge you $4. That's where they scam you on the shipping.
That's right. You just mark up the price of the shirt.
We just take that out of our end. It's like our gift to you guys.
There you
free
go.
Shipping.
You sell a $3 T-shirt for $20.
Comedians at Law. We're gonna be all over the country starting in January. We got JL Covan and Kevin Israel and Alex Barnett, 3 other really tremendously funny dudes. So check out their stuff on our site, comediansatlaw.com. And, look, December 23rd, my TV show is going to be premiering on MSNBC Sunday night at 9 Eastern Time. It's called Chained to My Ex.
Nice.
And, I'm sure you could probably go online. I don't know if they have a website up for it, but there was a trailer online today. So if you just Google Chained to My Ex, MSNBC, I think they started posting trailers for it. And you can check out my comedy. I also perform on my own, MattRitterComedy.com.
There you go. So, hey, are you totally embarrassed and ashamed of this podcast, or do you want me to email you a copy so you could share it with all your Twitter and Facebook friends?
No, listen, email it to me. I was very pleased to talk to you guys. I'm glad. It makes me feel better about my life. Talking to people that are in a worse situation than me.
We're here.
I feel like I'm better than at least these 2 guys in life. So
not hard to do.
Yes, I love you too, Matt.
It's something.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's always, it's always nice to find out that you're not the lowest rung on a ladder.
Yes. Hey, I was voted #1 show on Comedy Slam Radio. There was only one other show.
I gotta be honest. Listen, this was fun. Because for the Comedians at Law, we try to keep our shows pretty clean for the corporate audiences. So I don't often get to have these sort of let's be frank style conversations where I tell the truth about my sexual proclivities.
Very nice.
All right.
We can help them.
So,
like therapy.
I really appreciate that, fellas.
Well, hey, if you ever need to blurt out on another Monday night, you see the rate. If you got it on I'll shoot you over the phone number. You can call and yell at me anytime and scream about vaginas and pussy and whatever else you want to get, tug jobs.
Oh, do you guys have people call in? I love that.
Sometimes we have callers. I don't advertise for callers a lot because we normally get crazy enough. But we can have it up, man. You just randomly call in. You're welcome.
Where do I rank? In your illustrious podcast guest. That's what I want to know on the laugh meter.
I think that this has been a very funny show. I'd say it's definitely, we got almost 60 shows up. I think 50-something shows. So I'm going to say that this is probably in my top 10, top 12 shows. Because I'll
try and do better. I'll try and do better next time.
Hey, you know what? That means there's going to be a next time.
I can't stand the thought of Jackie Mason being funnier than me in 2012.
Luckily, no, I did do his, and I
that
did
was
do his.
January 2nd.
It was January 2nd, 2012. You know what? The only reason why I have to put Jackie towards the top is it was just, for a fat fucking Jew that's trying to become a comic. He was great. I asked him about how his hatred for Obama, and he went on a rant. It was great, man. You should go listen to it. It was just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, he's real. He's gone off the conservative deep end.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I saw him at a Klan meeting recently. He was doing a show. I mean, look, money's tough. Money's tight for him. He's got an illegitimate daughter. Money's tight for that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you do what you got to do, man. He'll be plugging that old Jew thing forever.
I mean, I saw him. He was doing a tour in Germany for the Young Nazi Party. He was doing a show. He was doing their holiday party. He was doing their Christmas party.
You whacked crazy bastard. Jackie's going to come back and haunt you for that. He'll be dead and be like, where's that Matt Ritter guy?
If only I could get punched in the face by Jackie Mason, it would make my career.
Hell yeah. All right, Matt. I gotta wind up this show because there's another show starting up. So I want to I want to say thank you again for giving a call in. Spread the word to some of your comedian friends. They need to call the Let's Be Frank show, and they could become famous like you.
Yeah, no, listen, if you guys are looking for some comics, I know a lot of great guys, a lot of funny stories, so let's be in touch. But thank you guys so much for having me and letting me, talk shit to you guys and promote my stuff.
Thank you. I'll email you out the links.
So much.
Have a good night.
And remember let's all remember what we learned today, which is, water breaking porn.
Definitely.
Which you are immediately going to go look up. And on that note,
I already have my hand on my penis. I got to get up.
Let's go to the end of the show on that. That is great. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Gwiggy.
No
Frodo, end the show. Thanks for listening in to the Let's Be Frank show on ComedySlamRadio.com. If you missed this show or would like to catch up on past shows, visit us on Stitcher Radio and iTunes at Let's Be Frank's Podcast, and have a great night. We'll see you next week.
What was that? I'll tell you what that was. That was another fine show from ComedySlamRadio.com, where we put the .com